OK, the Motherwell captain Keith Lasley recently celebrated his testimonial at the club for the visit of Ross County. How better to put the icing on his cake than a visit from our very own Connie McLaughlin.
Ever wondered what a match day's like for the captain of a football club? I've come to Lanarkshire to find out.
I bet there's loads of memories in here.
Yeah, no, very much so. No, it's a nice area now. It's, as you see, it's just been done up, and all the tiles. You know, as you see, brave as a lion here for Phil O'Donnell. A really nice touch from the club. I think my wee boy Alfie's been a bit optimistic here with his message, but no, it's nice. And when we line up here, you know, always have a wee glance over and have a little touch before we finally make that run out onto the pitch. So no, it's a nice little final thought for me before we go, if you like. This is your last little walk out before the game begins.
A career here, spanning from 2000. I mean, you must have a list of highs and lows that then.
Yeah, it's a lot more highs and lows, to be honest. I think the early years were tough. You know, the obvious high being my debut against Rangers at Ibrox was just absolutely fantastic. I'll never forget that day. It's the one shirt I've got framed up in my house, to be honest. It's just so special because coming from a kind of non-football background, I came from being an apprentice electrician, and it's something I never thought I'd get the chance to do. So to actually finally become a professional footballer, I feel like it's a big moment for me to play a first team game. So that's great.
What's this twist and shout all about?
It was a bit of a spontaneous thing at the end of the playoff game. The guys over in the corner, the Motherwell boys as they're called. It was them that brought that song to the fore for us, certainly through the two playoff games. I'll never forget that, even the game at Ibrox, to see that corner jumping up and down singing it was fantastic. And yeah, I like to give it a little go myself at the end. So look, it's one of the moments you do, but as I said, I don't think I'll be getting back up to give another rendition anytime soon.
What about just now then this season? It's been a little bit up and down, hasn't it, under the new manager?
Yeah, it has. A little bit of a mixed bag, I think, as you say, but you know, we feel you don't always get what you deserve in football. Been in it long enough to know that, but today obviously gives us another opportunity here at Fir Park to go and try and put some more points on the table, because we know, to our cost last year, we know what can happen if you don't go off to a good start, and you know you're almost playing catch up.
And points on the table is what they were after, and they were searching for their third win of the season under manager Ian Barraclough. Scott MacDonald almost sent them on their way, but there was just too much pace on this one for Louis Mould. Mould was searching for his fourth goal in as many games, but Scott Fox was having none of it. The captain calling for calm, and they needed it after this. Free kick coming in from Jamie Records. Michael Gardine turning and sending County in front. The Motherwell defenders not happy, and neither was the captain. Things would get worse though before they got better for Motherwell. Liam Boyce trying this effort from just inside the box, but it wasn't enough to double the leads for the Staggies. Into stoppage time though, and they would be forgiven for thinking they had bagged all 3 points, but it wasn't to be. Lasley linking up well with Johnson, and Louis Moult was there to salvage a point for the home side. The 91st minute, and a well-deserved equaliser. But what did the captain think?
We got there, showed good fighting spirit. I don't think we were at our best, but to be fair to Ross County, I don't think they're a hard team to play against, and they don't let you get to your best a lot of the time. I think that's shown in their start to the season. So a point's obviously better than none, and the way it came, I think, can hopefully even galvanise us going forward now into next week's game against Hamilton.
Sure, you're the captain. It's your job to show me the way out.
Let's go.
Great stuff. Keith Lasley, 16 years at Motherwell, apart from a brief 2-year spell down south. And Pat, good to see him getting involved with the goal as well.
Absolutely, and the hair's got a little bit greyer over the years, as we've seen. And he likes a song, but what a great pro, and to be around the club for that length of time, in this modern day, in this age when players move around and that, fantastic, and you can see him obviously very, very fit still able to contribute. And if he keeps doing that week after week, he'll be in the team.
He's a bit of a throwback, just like yourselves, in terms of, I didn't mean that in that negative sense. But
we're grey too. Well, I'm grey. Well, he's a bit grey.
But a one-club man, and it's unusual these days, Willie, isn't it? It must be difficult knocking back all those big money moves.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't have too many to knock back myself.
We didn't know who was in for us. That was the problem. There were no agents around nowadays.
It doesn't happen too often, though, isn't it? And he's been a superb servant for Motherwell, and they just seem to go well together, don't they, Keith Ladley and Motherwell?
Absolutely. And we have to mention Ross County, because it was an excellent result again for them. And they've started so well this season in comparison to how they normally start. They're up to fourth in the table, Willie.
No, absolutely. Normally, the best part of the season is the second half. As they showed last season, actually, under Jim McIntyre, they've been fabulous. Him and Billy Dodge have turned the club around. They've got them performing. The big, strong side, well organised. And they'll be a little bit disappointed, I'm sure, that they didn't take the full points yesterday.
And suddenly, when they have that good start, Pat, you start thinking about what are their ambitions for the rest of the season now, because I'm sure they would have taken top six at the start of the season.
Well, look at the form they had at the end of last season. That was top six form, wasn't it? And they've just carried it on. And I expect them to be up there, to keep it going. And there's no reason why they shouldn't. And he's added to the squad. They're strong. Their confidence is high. Great.
Absolutely. OK, time for a dip into the Championship now. Runaway leaders.